Well, hello. It's time for another exciting episode of Pens in Use. This is the show where I talk about my fountain pens and inks that I've been using throughout the week. So let's dive into it. If videos like this interest you, where I talk about fountain pens both new and old, and at all price points, I'd invite you to subscribe. And this week I don't have anything too exciting to talk about, but I'd sure love to hear your comments, so feel free to leave a comment down below about the video and whatever it is I come up with as I talk here. So let's start by taking a look at a few pens. Alright, so from left to right I have a Lamy 2000, Swan, Mabie, Todd. Let me just look at the number because I don't remember. 3240. Aurora 88, vintage of course. Muñeca 55. Noodler's Konrad, Senator Regent. Kaweco V14S. And a Waterman's Ideal 52. As always, I'll be doing the... Oh, I think I messed that view up and I didn't notice it. So I apologize if that was all catterwampus. Not intentional. Alright, as always, the writing sample will be in this Cognitive Surplus Theory notebook. So my first pen is the lovely Aurora 2000. Mine has a fine nib in it. And is ready for a refill, because she goes pretty steady all winter. So Lamy 2000, fine nib, and the ink in it is Parker Quink Black. Maybe not the most exciting ink, but it does really well on lower quality paper. We'll do our little swatch. Just a very nice pen. I have always enjoyed this, kind of the simplicity, how well it writes, and especially when I'm at work, this pen is just perfect. It just does, the slip cap is just perfect. So we'll do, let's do an in the cap view. So you look down inside the cap of the pen, and you've got barrel, cap barrel. And then you've got kind of a ring, another ring, and the rest of it's in shadow. Oops. Okay. My drawing looks absolutely nothing like that. But what I see in there, this bit near the top, is what slips over the little ears. And then down below I see a little bit of an inner cap that leaves a mark right here on the section. This camera's not picking it up. I'm on a lower quality than normal camera this week, mainly because I didn't get to filming this till Friday and I want to get it done. Alright, less said about that drawing the better, so we'll just move on. My next pen is this very attractive Swan, Mabie Todd. So the last 2 weeks I've done videos about lever filling and other sack filling pens. The first one was about the sack and how to put in a new sack. And then the second one was about the different mechanisms like the J-bars and the pressure bars and so on that actually compress the sack. I'm going to guess this has a J-bar, but I don't know that. So it's a Swan, Mabie Todd, 3240. The ink in it is Akkerman, Groenmarkt Smaragd. So, which is a greengrocer. Do a little swatch. Just a little one. I enjoy this pen. This is probably the first cursive italic I had. And you can kind of tell in the final swatch I'm going to do here. Nice, thick vertical strokes. Very thin horizontal strokes. So let's do a wheelbarrow. Yeah, because we've got a greengrocer who sells out of the wheelbarrow. I don't know the Dutch word for vegetables, so we'll just write vegetable on there. So, yeah, this farmer sells his vegetables out of a wheelbarrow. Probably can't make a living doing that, but it's fountain pen fantasy world. This is supposed to be like an escape from the real world, right? Probably not on this channel. Alright, then we have the Aurora 88. A vintage pen. Which writes really well. This is actually not my favorite. I own two of these. This isn't my favorite one. So as well as this one's writing, the other one's even better. So the ink in this is Sailor Jentle Sky High. So I had a talk this week when I did the, or was it last week, about the ink sacs and ink. You know, what ink do you put in them? And I said, well, I don't put Japanese inks in my latex sacs. And that's with good reason. The ink sacs, the alkaline nature of a lot of Japanese inks is just not good for the ink sacs. It causes them to age prematurely. So maybe the obvious question would be, isn't this a vintage pen? And I'd say yes, but this vintage pen is a piston filler. So I'm not as worried. So the piston filler, I don't think, I know. I can't draw the piston mechanism that's in this pen. But I'll draw this one. I'm trying to remember from my mechanical drawing that I took in high school how to draw screw threads. There was an art to it. I don't remember how I used to do it. But anyway, there's my feeble attempt at screw threads on the piston turning knob. And here's the beginnings of the piston. But anyway, so I'm more adventurous with my vintage piston filling pens than I am with my vintage lever filling pens. So this is a vintage pen I'd feel comfortable putting just about any ink into. This is a Muñeca 55 from Argentina. And the reason I'd feel comfortable putting almost any ink in it is because it doesn't use a latex sac. It uses, I think, a silicone sac. And if you watched my video this week about the piston, or the pressure bar, I did a little spray with this pen by accident and got it all over a bunch of other pens because I thought it was empty. Always an adventure here at the Wasky Squirrel Pen channel. I just been curious. I've been using AI to ask questions about myself, and AI tells me I have minimal editing, which is actually true. We're on this camera tonight, so I have to do even less editing because it's late at night, and this squirrel needs his sleepy time. So here is a squirrel. Oh, that's an ugly snout. And we'll pull covers up over this squirrel so that we don't have to go any further trying to draw a squirrel laying on its side on a pillow. Probably dreaming of nuts. Keep it oriented right. Oops, wrong way. Then we have my Noodler's Konrad. Holding one of my favorite inks. And that is Noodler's Black Swan in Australian Roses. I remember it used to be a debate on this channel because somebody would always forget about it. Whether it's Australian Rose or Australian Roses, till I finally actually pulled out the bottle and looked. And had to admit defeat. I always thought Australian Rose sounded better, but, I'm not Nathan Tardif, so I don't get a choice. So we're not going to try to draw Australia because I seem to offend the Australians every time I try to draw their country. So we'll draw a roughly little rose. And the next pen is Senator Regent. So I'm using in this pen what was my Daily Writer ink all fall. This is Lamy Blue Black. As much as I did decide I like the color, I also decided that I really like writing every day in black ink. So I'm relegating that ink to, a different pen and putting black ink in my Lamy 2000. This is a nice pen just for writing. You don't get flecks, you don't get anything fun. It just feels good in the hand, and I have been kind of amazed how quickly I use it all up. But anyway, what's a good picture for this? I have no idea what's a good picture for this, so we'll do, I don't know what we're going to draw. Let's draw here's a lever bar outside of the pen, pushing the pressure bar to squeeze a latex sack. How's that sound? Probably as awful as it looks. Okay. They can't all be winners. Then we get the Kaweco V14S. Oops. Don't worry, that was not an expensive pen if you heard that fall on the floor. That was a very cheap pen because it was given to me. And it's not vintage. Alright, this is a Kaweco. Oh, we didn't look at it, did we? So this is a Kaweco V14S. Vintage pen. Very much looks like a product of the classy 60s, not the crazy hippie stuff, just the classy look. So Kaweco V14S, and mine has a fine nib, and the ink in it is Atramentis. Red Roses. So Valentine's Day is coming up. I will be spending Okay, this kind of amazes me that it worked out this way, that they schedule it this way. But I will be spending Valentine's Day working at the school at the concession stand because my school will be holding girls' district basketball playoffs. So I guess if you're a romantic living in my community or any of the communities playing in our district playoffs, don't do your romantic date on Valentine's Day. And finally, a pen I haven't been enjoying since I fixed its sack. My Waterman's Ideal 52. Whoops, get it on camera here. Sorry, the lighting is not the greatest because this camera is not the greatest. So Waterman's. '52. And the ink in it, I actually don't know what ink is in it, so let's see if I can figure out while it dries. Oh, I think I know what ink is in it. Yeah, it took me a minute, but I see it now. Can you guess? Probably not with this lighting. This is Rohrer and Klingner. Scabiosa. And this is an East German company, as I have learned. So in other words, somehow survived behind the Iron Curtain. Interesting. So since I'm struggling for a picture, we'll try to do a sad sort of an oak leaf thing. Okay, I can't draw oak leaves, so there you go. Why an oak leaf? Because of the gall part of iron gall, because this is an iron gall ink. I'm still trying to learn a little bit more about this brand, but I'm hoping to share it if I find out the things I want to find out. But yeah, it was apparently a company that survived behind the Iron Curtain, so that's interesting. Oh, yeah, I had something to show you. Where did I hide it? Don't know. So how about I tell you instead? What I was going to show you, I got out a Pilot Con 20 converter because the Pilot Con 20 converter is a sack filling converter. It uses a latex sack and a pressure bar, a lot like a Parker 51, except it's a converter. And got it out, set it down. I thought right here, I'm still turning my head and looking, and I don't see it anywhere, so don't know what I did with it. So I did a few pen repair videos the last couple of weeks. They don't seem to get such a big audience, but that's okay. I see some of my content as evergreen. So something like a pen's in use, after you watch it once, you're never going to watch it again. Nobody's ever going to search up my pens and uses. But something like, how do you put a new sack in a pen? Sure, not a lot of people are like, oh boy, that's the video I've been waiting for, and jumping to it so it comes some viral video. But on the other hand, that's something that week after week, month after month, year after year, people are like, how do I repair this lever filling pen? And then they'll search something like that up, and mine might be one of the videos they land upon. So it's evergreen content. It means it will get me views over and over again. So I like that. I've come to see YouTube. Yes, there's some trash on it, but I've come to see YouTube almost like a search engine where you can see video of different things. Oh, I need to repair a hole in my drywall. How do I do that? YouTube has a video. I want to install laminate flooring. I don't know how to do that. Oh, YouTube has a video. I want to factor a polynomial. How do I do that? Oh, YouTube has a video. I want the history of some obscure town in North Dakota. It's possible YouTube has that video. So one of the things I like about YouTube is the fact that it is that encyclopedia, that search engine. And so I view some of my videos as being like that. Now, sure, the videos I produce, vintage fountain pens, obscure vintage fountain pens at that, often, aren't going to get people just racing to watch that video as soon as it comes out. But they trickle in the views over the years. One of my best performing videos on the channel is called Why I Live in North Dakota. Some of the things have changed, but that is consistently one of my top videos. Not a video that's going to get lots of views right away or in any given time, but they just trickle in. So I've appreciated that about YouTube. I tried out IGTV, which, funny, no longer exists. That was Instagram's attempt at doing videos vertically. And yeah, they got rid of that as a separate service, and now it's just part of your Instagram stream. But the trouble with Instagram that I saw is it's really hard to search. YouTube, I can search. Like I said, I want to find videos about Carl Sagan's book, Cosmos. I can do that. I can find them. Instagram is more here today, gone tomorrow. And I go to Instagram so infrequently that I miss a lot of stuff. And I have people, well, didn't you see I posted that? No, because I haven't been on Instagram yet this week and missed it, and probably will miss it when I do go on. So, yeah, I appreciate how YouTube is set up. Now, I don't appreciate some of the games they play with the algorithm, but they're in it to make money. My problem is I don't approach YouTube as a money-making proposition. I approach it as a hobby. So, I don't make those videos that are going to get the high views right away. And I don't spend hours scrolling through shorts or videos. I watch what I want, and usually what I'll do is I'll load up a playlist with a bunch of videos and then watch like 5 of them. If that. But anyway, I like its searchability, and I like the fact that really old videos can get views because they still have valuable content. So, on that note, I've done some pen repair videos in the past, and I thought I would just put it out there. What other types of pen repair would you like to see? Some of them I'm not good at. There's a couple of things I can do with nibs, but there's a lot with nibs I don't know. I'm thinking about doing a video on the Parker Vacuumatic filler. I have the parts. I just need the time. So, we'll see. I would like to do some one or two videos on pistons, piston fillers. Trying to think what other pen repairs. Some of the pen repairs are just out of my skill set. The people that repair cracks. Don't know if that one's in my skill set. Anyway, I would love if you'd comment down below some pen repair videos or other pen-related videos that aren't necessarily reviews that you'd like to see, because I personally get a lot of joy out of doing videos that aren't, look at this pen I just bought, isn't it? Look how it writes, look how it fills, I'll probably continue doing those, but I'm more and more wanting to get into how do you use this pen? The pen lifestyle. How do you create with it? What do you create with the fountain pen versus the typewriter versus the computer? Those kind of things. I want to get into more of that. So, anyway, I guess this pen's in use on this not so good video is more me looking for direction for the channel. Looking for some ideas. So, love to hear what you have in mind. So, I want to thank you for watching. And I will just tell you, I'm going to put some snow scenes up here. This has been such an unbelievably warm winter. I am not getting the snow video and scenes like I thought I would. Hoped I would. It's going to be scary because it's too early in the year to be this warm. And I feel for those of you living in parts of the country that got really hammered by snow or ice. But we definitely have not here. My car is sitting in mud right now as we speak in my driveway. Not normal for February 6th. So, yeah, I don't think this is the year I collect lots of good winter footage. So anyway, I want to thank you for watching. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.